Yeah, what's goody? It's your girl Magna Dragon Phoenix. What's going on, y'all? To all of my day one subscribers, thank you, thank you, thank you. And to all who are new, thank you for stopping by. Welcome to the channel. And to those who are just observing or monitoring, make sure you drop some support, okay? Like, subscribe, or share this video. Do that. That would be very amazing. Now, the content may not align with you. It may not be vibrationally aligned, or it may be vibrationally aligned. If the content is not for you, you discover that, by watching, kindly do yourself a favor and just choose another channel with messages and content that may be a little bit more or a lot more aligned with what it is that you're looking for. Alrighty, it'll resonate and be in alignment, and that will be perfect for you. That said, let's move on and get into this subject matter from the title of the video. Gossip, one of the highest forms of negative magic there is in existence. Now, this is the second time I'm making this video. I uploaded it previously and it mysteriously deleted. I laughed, I chuckled when I went and I looked and it just vanished. And I was a little irritated. I'm not even going to front. I really was. But I said, you know what? I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm going to redo the video because the thing is I tried to re-upload the video that I created and for some reason it just wouldn't upload at all. That kind of irritated me as well, but I said, you know what? Onward is the movement. I'll remake the video. Maybe there's something that I need to add in. All right, now on to the subject matter. Gossip, one of the highest forms of negative magic there is in existence. And this really is a fact. It really is. You have people sitting around gossiping about another, whether it is two people or it is more than two people in a group, right? Either way, there are multiple parties that are engaging in using words in a negative way to essentially cast spells on another. Because when you are speaking, you're formulating sentences through spelling, right? So you're casting spells with the tongue. It says it in powerful books, right? There are powerful books that talk about the power of the tongue. Death and life are in the tongue, right? That's a quote from a very powerful book. So if death and life are in the tongue, you have the ability to either speak life over another or you have the ability to speak death over another. Unfortunately, a lot of people like to gossip, which is a very negative thing to do. So essentially, they are speaking death over another person's life. Now, depending on what that soul came into this life to achieve, depends on the amount of protection that the person may have. Some people naturally have very, very strong protection, more so than others. People have protection, spiritual protection, to varying degrees, depending on the person as a soul, right? The spirit within that avatar, what they came to accomplish, their blueprint, whatever their mission is. So the ranking is there as it relates to that. If a person is extremely high ranking in the spirit realm, then they're going to have supreme protection around them. So a little gossiping, that's not really going to affect that person. But if the person is on the lower end of things when it comes to the ranking, there is no superiority here and there is no inferiority here. There are souls and there's missions for each person's soul. So each person is here to accomplish their destinies, right? Because your destiny can change. We change every day, right? We're growing, I would hope so, because if you're not growing, then you're doing the opposite, right? You are dying. And when we say dying to that regard, we're not attributing it to transition. that type of death. That's something completely different. That would be a different subject matter for another video, right? So let's get back into it. If the person is on a lower ranking when it comes to the spirit realm, they may not have as high a protection as someone that is much more high ranking. They will have protection nonetheless, absolutely. That person would most likely have to focus on building protection in this lifetime, which can be done, can be accomplished. So if someone is gossiping about someone that doesn't have as much protection as someone that would be high ranking, that if it's chronic, after a while, it could penetrate through that person's aura. It can penetrate through that person's spiritual defenses, depending on how powerful the person is that is speaking ill over that person's life by using spelling their words, formulating them into sentences after they have sat around and casted judgment, right? Then the sentence is sent out. Now, when two people are gossiping, that's one thing. But let's say a group of people gather together and they're gossiping. That's now we're getting somewhere where it's extremely powerful now, right? Let's say a group of people are gathered, that's like coven activity, right? And covens are not bad. So let me clarify that. But that wouldn't be any different than a group of people that have spiritual powers that came together to perform a ritual or something like that. That is a ritual. It's an oral ritual. You're spelling, you're casting spells, you're sitting around as a group and you're discussing someone that isn't physically present. What you're doing now is you are pulling the person's energy into that circle there of people that are discussing that person in a negative way. So they've gathered together, spelling, casted judgment, and the sentence is handed out. It goes out into the ethers. And if that person has very low protection, it penetrates them. It manifests into their life. However, it manifests based on, whatever the people were speaking over their life. It physically manifests if that person's protection is extremely weak. Now, there's several elements that are being used for the orchestration of this spelling that is being casted when they are orally speaking death over someone's life through gossip, right? So the elements of air, water, H2O, O2, they're pretty much speaking. The air and the water in a vapor form is coming out of that person's mouth and it's going out into the air and it's being carried out. Everyone has to breathe, right? Because air is the fuel for the body, prana, air. The body is fueled by prana. Everyone must breathe. So that's going out into the air specifically for that person. So when they breathe the air, they're breathing in that spell or that curse. You see that there, how that works? Now let me throw the element of fire in there real quick. If a person ate some spicy food, because there's certain spices that can be eaten, I won't even get into that too deeply, where the person is speaking and now if you're able to see in the spirit realm and you look, you'll see the fire coming out of their mouth, their breath, they're breathing fire as they're speaking these curses that they're casting over another person's life while they're gossiping. Right? And if the person is extremely powerful, that can determine the speed and accuracy of this spell, how fast it hits the target. Some people are aware of the power of gossip, and most people are not, right? So this video, you're kind of, you're learning something here in terms of these type of esoteric knowledges, right? So flow with me, All right, flow with me. That fire is going out there in that air. The air is actually fueling the fire. It's going out into the ethers. The air is being breathed by the person that these people have gathered together to gossip about, to speak words of death over the person's life. Now, the power of gossip is so negative that it can cause so much damage in a person's life. I mean, people have lost their jobs for people gossiping. You know, people have lost relationships from people gossiping. People have lost items. People have gotten in car wrecks, tripped, fell, hurt themselves really badly because people have gathered around and have gossiped about another, and that goes out where unbeknownst to them or known to them, because some of them do know what they're doing. Most don't, right? So it has that powerful effect carried by these elemental forces that people are unknowingly using to cast this spell from the spelling that they're doing as they are gathered around and gossiping about their target. Now, there's a saying that there's pretty much a saying in the Bible where it talks about that the Creator is going to make your enemy your footstool. I literally have borne witness to this in the physical reality, where the Creator has made my enemy my footstool. And I'm bringing this up because this ties into gossiping. There are a lot of people that I have encountered along my journey that have gossiped about me. They have talked so negatively about me. They have wished ill on me. You name it, they've done it, right? And that's quite okay. I forgave them a long time ago, and I still forgive them to this day for me. You know, hopefully, the Creator willing, they will step into better versions of themselves. I'm not expecting for anyone to change because that's not for me, you know, that those are the Creator's creations. So therefore, people are growing every day. We're becoming better versions of ourselves. That's what life is about, right? We're learning. Hopefully, people are becoming better versions of themselves. If not, that's for the Creator to handle, right? I wish them well. However, I have been at the negative receiving end of gossip throughout my life. There are some people that just have very natural supreme protection. And you attack them with gossip or whatever malicious intentions, preying on their downfall, etc., and that ricochets immediately back to the center. Back to the sender. Look, I said back to the center. No, seriously, back to the center, because it's coming from your heart space. That envy, that jealousy that you're projecting onto that person to say such vile things and, you know, speak curses over that person's life. So that's the same thing that happens when people are gossiping and they're gathered in a group, right? If that person has supreme protection, whatever level it is that, you know, that protection is on, or if that person happens to be a very high ranking being and it ricochets back to you, oh, it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot like fire. Because why are you doing that, right? That's not really nice. Now, is it? We've got to be careful what we spend our time doing. People that gather around and gossip about people consistently, they don't have productive things to do with their time, because anybody can be busy. You could be busy doing anything, but to be productive, that's a total different ball game. To be productive versus being busy. They're busy gossiping, but they're not productive in what they should be doing in their life that will help to pretty much give them expansion in consciousness so that they can ascend and step into levels of self, awarenesses of self that are higher. Because when you're vibrationally low like that, gossip is one of the things that people like that will do. So we got to be very careful about what we spend our time doing, because the death that someone thinks that they're speaking over another, they're literally speaking that over their own life, right? It's the law of attraction that's being used there. You're thinking about it, which means you're feeling about it. The feeling is given the fuel, the thought fuel to manifest into the physical. So you think that you're using the law of attraction against that person, but in fact you're using it against yourself, because it's a 1-for-1. You get what you give, right? You're giving and you're receiving. It's reciprocal whether you believe it or not. Whether you believe in certain laws or not, as it pertains to the spirit realm, they exist. Whether you believe it to be true or not, it just exists, right? So we got to be very careful about what we spend our time doing. That's all I have for this video, right? That's all I have. If you guys resonated and you're aligned with the content on this channel, I would love to have you as a subscriber. And don't forget to visit us on the web at www.magnadragonphoenix.com. We would love to have you as a member there as well. There is a subscription fee. There are certain things that are members only, and there are certain videos that are open for public view as well. The blog is a part of the members only, and the forum as well. So I would love to see you guys over there. I would also love to have you as a subscriber here. So make sure you hit the like button and hit the bell notification so that you can be notified anytime I post. And you can like, subscribe, and share this video so that we can help to keep the channel growing. Your support is extremely appreciated on my YouTube channel, and your support is extremely appreciated also on my website, magnadragonphoenix.com. And on that note, I'm out of here, y'all. Rah! Peace out.